Let's start with the first step, which is to change the price header to say order summary. First, I open up the activity main layout file, and then I go and find the view that controls the price header. If I put my cursor here, then I see that this view gets correctly highlighted. So now I can go ahead and modify this string here. I'm going to erase this and type in order summary. It correctly updates in the preview window. Notice that I spelled it with a capital O and a capital S instead of in all caps. If we ever decide to change our UI and set all caps to be false, then my text will still be fine. So I prefer typing order summary like this and then using the attribute text all caps equals true. Okay, so the first item's done. The second task is to find the price value text view and change it to have an ID of this. If I move down to the next text view after the order summary header, then this is the price value text view, and it's highlighted here too. As requested, I'm going to change the ID to say order summary text view. Cool, so those are all the XML changes in the layout. Let me run the app to make sure that it still works. Actually, it doesn't work. I get an error saying that I can't find the symbol price text view in the Java file. Looks like we need to go to the next steps before we can get our app to compile. In the main activity displayMessage method, we're supposed to change the variable name from price text view to order summary text view. Within the main activity file in the displayMessage method, I find the price text view here. I'm going to delete this and then type in order summary text view. It's going to be in camel case and start with a lowercase o because it's a variable name. Immediately I get a warning that says the variable is never used. So I'm going to copy it and I'm actually going to use it on the next line here because there's an error saying price text view is unresolved. I'm going to delete this and then use the new variable name here. Cool, and that makes the error go away. But I still have another error here, and I think it's related to the last task. The last item here says to change r.id.priceTextView to r.id.orderSummaryTextView. I'm going to double click on this error in red, and I'm going to delete it and type in order summary text view. There, and now the error goes away. And now the app works without any errors. The initial layout is correct. Instead of saying price, it now says order summary. And if I change the quantity and hit order, then the summary shows up here. Let's talk about any observations that you may have made. Remember, there's no right or wrong answers. First, you may have noticed that for the price text view, when we gave it an ID of order summary text view, this similar format appeared again later in the Java code when we were modifying the displayMessage method. You also may have noticed that by changing price to order summary, it seemed to have a bunch of ripple effects on other parts of the code. Now, some of these changes are required in order for the app to run again, but other changes were more nice to haves just for convention so that we didn't have any old lingering references to price. In looking more closely at the displayMessage method, you may have noticed that there's only one input parameter, string message, and there's no return value. That's why we don't have a line in this method that says return something. You also may recognize the word text view, which we saw in the XML in order to add a text view to our layout. It's spelled exactly the same way as here. Also, this line of code here looks like the assignment of a variable, where we have the variable data type, the variable name, and then having an initial value here. This is similar to how we declared integers and strings. And if you were looking really closely, you may have thought that this looks like a method call, findViewById, followed by an opening parentheses, some stuff in the middle, and then a closing parentheses. Similarly with setText here, there's an opening parentheses, something in the middle, and then a closing parentheses. So this may also be a method call. In the upcoming videos, we're going to take a look more closely at what exactly is happening in these lines of code and start to understand what they actually mean.